Interesting developments there on the oil front. Mortgage lender Housing Finance is set to raise 3.5 billion shillings through a rights issue set to open up next month. Housing Finance has priced the rights issue offer at 30 shillings, a 28.9% discount over 6-month average of its share price. The lender will be offering 106.6 million shares to its ordinary shareholders at the rate of 1 new ordinary share for every 2 held. Last year, Housing Finance scrapped plans to raise 20 billion shillings through a bond, citing at the time the high interest rates, opting instead for a rights issue. It is expected that the mortgage lender will use the funds raised to expand its lending ability. According to a Central Bank and World Bank report, the country requires close to 210,000 new houses built annually, but only 50,000 units are churned out. The rights issue opens on February the 13th and closes on the 13th of March. Moving on, the push to raise the involvement of Kenyans living in the diaspora today received a boost after the government unveiled the first ever diaspora policy document. The policy is geared towards improving the investment climate and offer financial incentives that will allow Kenyans working abroad to take part in the country's economic agenda. Here's more on that story. The rate at which diaspora remittances have continued to grow has grasped the attention of the government. Remittances as of 2013 stood at close to 120 billion shillings, steadily rising from about 90 billion shillings in the previous year. 2014 figures are tipped to be much way higher, underlying the need by the government to create a framework to engage with those working abroad.
Given the abundance of skilled, knowledgeable and patriotic Kenyans outside our borders, it is now a matter of the highest priority to integrate the diaspora into our national development agenda.
That the diaspora, which is an important part of our social and economic fabric, has huge potential to positively contribute to the growth of our economy. In spite of this, the Kenyan diaspora faces critical challenges. The policy we are launching today seeks to address the key constraints facing our diaspora.
It is estimated that about 3 million people live and work in the diaspora. This is a figure that the government says it will no longer ignore, and they're putting up measures in place to tap into the close to 133 billion shillings that is sent annually by Kenyans living in the diaspora. The just launched policy spells out how those abroad can actively engage in economic activities currently being implemented in the country. The policy will also chart the way forward when it comes to matters relating to curbing the high cost of remittances, improving consular services, using Kenyans abroad to promote tourism and tapping into diaspora talents, among others. Guided by the policy, the government will establish an online web portal to facilitate collection of data and profiles of Kenyans living abroad for proper planning and engagement. It is still unclear of how the government will fund the proposed interventions enumerated in the policy document. A number of Kenyans working abroad have in the past lacked financial channels to invest back home. This has over time seen a majority of them pumping money into traditional asset classes such as real estate. Banks have joined the bandwagon and have also been luring those in the diaspora with investment products. And as the cogs of change continue to blow, Kenyans working abroad will be keenly monitoring whether the new policy will play to their advantage or not. Abiagina, KTN Business.